Apágala. Ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. It's my turn, right? Okay, give me a few seconds. Hold on a second. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
All right, let's get this party started. Okay, so the winner of the day is Rivian, coming in first place, 8.37%. Microsoft in second, Kroger, Dickety Dicks, BJ's, and your favorita, Manzana. The losers were Wayfair, gracias a Dios, Peloton, Open, Havana, and Uber. I found a really good article about Uber Dash and people uh, basically they're suing New York City, so we can talk about that afterwards.
I knew I should have held Rivian overnight at the long. That it was a good opportunity. But anyway, because it went up.
Yes, and it may
based
continue
on
to
its
go up.
uptrend.
It may continue to go up for a few.
Probably.
Okay, so let's see. Oh. All right, Americana. So obviously today was a down day, so we're gonna see a lot of red around here. It didn't have the greatest of day. It's starting to curve down. However, this can be misleading because it is at an uptrend. It may be a good, I wouldn't say necessarily a buying opportunity. I would say if it goes down here, a better one, but something to look out for. It did go, it would have been a good short, obviously. Manzana, the last couple of days have been stepping down. However, it's still above the 190 mark. And it did go up at the end of the day. And I guess for most of the day, it was against the market. So the market was going down, but Manzana was going up. And
I'm holding it overnight.
And it did a crazy dip here. That would have been nice if somebody got this and did a long. But yeah, it's up a little up. It went against the market.
I had it, but for some reason my order did not execute.
Yes, you're right. You would have gotten out because you had a 190.
Yeah,
AMD
just didn't execute.
So AMD looks like it's doing a little snake down. It's sneaking down every day. If it gets below the 50 period mark, I would say, yeah, it's on its way to definitely going down. However, the 200 is still down here, and that's at an upward trend. So we'll keep an eye on it, and hopefully it gets down there at CN below. Amazona. So it had a little gap down today, as you can see here, a little gap down. The last 2 days have been not very strong, candlesticks. And it's curving downward like most of the other things that we had saw. So, but like I said, the trend is still very strong, upward movement, and we shall see if it gets down here. ASML is 699, also had a little gap down. AZO 2491 wasn't really that much affected by the downturn today, but we already knew that because this stock is very, very strong, and we shouldn't be messing with it unless you're going long. Boeing, not much to tell, but it continues to be in this range. And unless something else happens, just trade it between here and here, and you should be fine because that's what it's been doing for the last since the beginning of the year. So from January to July, it's just staying in this range. Caro,
You're right. It would be a good range bound trade.
It's a good trade. It's a good range bound trade because basically it's since the beginning of the year. It's just been going between here, between these two lines that we have identified. So if it gets up here, you short it. If it gets down here, you long it. Banco, the banks didn't do really great today, so we shall see that a lot of red. It was very strong candle down. It's still this Bank of America is not our favorite stock anymore to buy, and if it does, and if we were to buy it, we would buy it like we said, 25. BJ's, it looks like it's gonna fill the gap at some point.
I heard that Banco, you said it didn't fail the stress test, but it didn't do X-rated. It thought it was going to do on a stress test.
So yeah, we should. That's a good thing to know because then people shouldn't buy it at the moment.
Because of that, they raised their dividend 9 cents per share or something because their stress test said they were supposed to do better. And when the government did a stress test, it's not that they failed, but they didn't come out looking as good as they thought they were.
Which tells you all you need to know. Yeah, because why, they're raising the dividends for a reason. They don't want to let investors KAT get out.
Of course.
Good call. We can put that on the notes. Observe Bank of America. BJ's, it looks like it's doing a little flattish dance here. However, starting to curve a little bit upward. If it hits this here, I think it's gonna fill the gap. Carro. It's just playing mind games here. Now it's starting to do a little curve, and hopefully it goes down. Chewy, we don't really trade this one, but it looks like it's curving down. Okay, Dashy also had a extra day, so this is what I mean. It might start to go down, especially if they're suing New York City. So that's something to keep in mind because they're gonna be losing money suing the state. Dollar General 168.76, 0.82% down. And it's not loading. Let's go to Dollar Tree. Okay, so Dollar Tree, as Leanna had predicted, is starting to fill this gap slowly. We had this on the notes yesterday. It's a little down today, but it's still below both lines. It did get above it yesterday, so we shall see because I think the force of today made it go down. But this could continue to go up and fill the gap. Dickies. It looks like it's marching downward and it's going to get below the 200 line soon. EBC, goodbye. This is a little dip. This might continue maybe for the next couple of days because that's what it tends to do when it goes down. It goes down for like 3 to 4 days and then it picks back up. It's still below. It's still above the 50, which is a good thing.
The banks are weak again, so EBC is going to be weak because the banks.
Yes. So that's what I'm saying. So in the next couple of days, it'll probably go down, and just like before, it'll go down a couple of days and then it'll start picking up. But what I'm saying is still above this 50, so it's kind of on the strong side. It didn't surpass it, so that's a good sign. EBC is a good one.
Earnings for a lot of the banks is coming up, and people are anticipating that earnings, for generally speaking, for the banks will not be as strong as they could be.
And
So,
yes, and that's probably right because they've been having a stressful year so far.
so it's just a setup
I
for
think I read an article this morning too regarding some Minnesota bank. I'll try to see if I can find it. But yes, that sounds right.
setup
I'm gonna skip
things.
Freshy Fresh. Let's go to Google. So Google, interestingly, oh, okay, so it went negative 1.60. They marked it as a green candle, but it is obviously went down. It's still above the 50, still above the 200. The trend is very positive looking. So we shall see if it continues to be above that 50 period line or if it goes down below it. Home Depot, it went down today. Wow, it had a little gap down, 301.70. So it rejected that 310 finally, based on today's activity. It didn't get to touch the 200 or the 200 line. So I think it's gonna level set around here because it was barcoding here for a minute. Intel, no commentary on that nonsense. Kroger, Macy's. Okay, so I like this price. I'm starting to like this price, 15.88. Let's see if it continues to go down below 15. That's when I like to buy it, below 15. Starting to curve down again. McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. So the beast is still up and there's no train to stop it. And good luck to those people who have it long. Metalicious. So they released out the Threads app. So even though it went down negative 1.56%, I believe that at the beginning of the market, this thing kind of went cray-cray. Pre-market, it went a little cray-cray, I guess. And then it started to go down with the market. But they were putting a lot of hype on this because they released a new app like I think with Instagram that you can text and do all this nonsense stuff. So it got a little hype up because of the release thing, but it still went down, and it looks like it's continuing to go down. Even in the post market, it went really down. Softy. So this stock is interesting because it went against the market. It went down at the beginning of the day, but notice that it went upward. This was against the market most of the day, where everything was going down, this was going up. It wasn't a dramatic increase, but this stock was strong compared to everybody else in the Dow, I believe, in NASDAQ. MU negative 1.37. Nefli. Let's look at daily. They're saying that this thing is gonna reach 500. There was some resistance, obviously, today because of the market, but we shall continue to observe it. And I think it will get there if the trend continues this way, because both trends are very, very strong. It looks like AZO. There's like no stopping it, like McDonald's, no stopping it. So I think it's gonna get to 500. Okay, so then Nikete, 104.83. It didn't have the greatest of days, also a gap down. So if this continues the way it continues, it's gonna hit that 100, and it looks like it is. It's curving down. This thing is like obvious that it's gonna go down. NVIDIA, still very strong up there in 421 land. It's refusing to go down because it's just staying around here until something major happens, and then it'll go boom down, because this thing has been going on extra. Your open did very well, 3.77. It just went down, like, and oh, it picked up at the, I would say after 12:30. But even in the post market, it had a little dramatic down. That means it might do a little pick me up tomorrow. Peloton as well. Woo woo. So we'll see what happens if it goes back up to ocho at some point. But you know, it is summertime and people don't exercise in the indoors. Riviano. This also was against the market, just like Softy. It had an excellent day. So if you still have it, if you grabbed it from here at the beginning of the day and you just kept it until 8 o'clock, you would have made some good money. Okay, Sam, we'll skip Sam. We'll skip Starbucks. Target. Still just flat. Not really getting past this point at this moment. I will get more excited once it surpasses this level, and hopefully we can get it at that 120 price that we had forecasted. Taco to 1880, not really doing that much movement, but I think it is going to start going down based on this trend. It is below the 50 and it is below the 200, and this thing is going to curve down, make it curve down. So, and it is on hard buy. Uberlicious, starting to curve down. Visa, we don't trade that. This was my favorito of the dia. So it had a dramatic gap down. I still have long ways to go. But we shall see if I average. I should have averaged in obviously at the top, but I was in deep and I had a lot of stuff, a lot of positions. Walgreens it looks like it's inching upward, maybe trying to fill this gap at some point. Walmart was
Wayfair at the top lucked out.
Huh?
Whoever bought Wayfair at the top lucked out.
Yes, yes, yes,
Sold
yes.
Wayfair at the top.
And it's still gonna continue to go down. Hopefully it's a hard buy. XOM, and there you have it. Gas prices going down, 102.89. Let's go to the next list. We're just gonna do the winners and losers. So Affirm, negative 10.96. And the winners, I don't know what this SWBI is. Oh, Smith Wesson Brands and Campbell. My meaties did a little trick today where I thought it was gonna.
Can we look at Affirm again?
What? Affirm, yes. Affirmy. He was trading this as well. I think it's gonna continue to go down now because it's gonna cross.
Can I see the 1 minute?
Yes, ma'am. It might do a little, it might get up here. It almost got to the top, but I think this is gonna continue to go down.
Go back to the daily and let's zoom, what is it called? The other one.
Want me to continue?
No. Oh, man. What was the earnings on this?
Hold on. Escándalo. Okay, the earnings. So it did well. It's still losing dinero.
Oh, that's why it's going up. What about previously?
But the earnings was a while ago. That was earnings in May. Obviously, it did worse.
That's enough.
Yeah, it's still losing dinero. And because it did better than expected, that's why it went up. But the
Okay.
but it wasn't such a dramatic. Now it's going back over here to this baseline here. So that's a Fermi, but it's losing dinero. Hog had a bad day also. It's on hard buy. Um, that's it.
It's really a good day because we want to buy it at the bottom.
Huh?
It's really a good day for us because we want to buy it at the bottom.
Mm-hmm. That's it.
All right, cool. You want to do any options or you good?
Uh, you can pick one.
I really have nothing.
You have nothing.
No,
What did I pick yesterday? Amazon. Okay.
Amazon.
Okay, let's pick this one, a Fermi. Okay, but let's investigate what they do first. Escándalo, es un escándalo, escándalo. Okay, so provides platform for digital mobile first commerce. The company's platform compromises three elements: point of sale, its merchant commerce solutions. Okay, so here it is. Earnings per share is still negative. PE is still negative. It's negative. EBITDA is still negative. Okay, so since June, so in a month, it went from, so this was when? Yeah, the beginning of
You're
June.
looking at hog.
Oh, you're right. I'm looking at hog. Also, I probably gave you the wrong earnings, didn't I? No, I gave you the right earnings. So since May, it has been going up. It hit the top over here. So that's almost 3 months ago. May, June, July. It's hitting July. So 3 meses. So it would probably take about 3 or 4 months to get down here to maybe 10 or so. That's if we say 15 or 13, that's only $3 though. Okay, so let's see. I don't think it's worth it because it's only $3. It's not like now if it was here, like 18
Yeah, I would
or
never.
or 19, then I could say, hey, yeah. But I don't think it's worth it. We might as
I
well
think
just
it's
buy
a
the
waste
stock.
of time.
Huh?
It's a waste of time.
Yes. So
Unless
that,
you're thinking that it's gonna go down to like $5 or something.
yeah. So do you have anything else? It
Nah,
might go to Cinco, but
it probably will looking at it.
yes, it probably will. If it goes to Cinco, then from 13 to Cinco, that's ocho.
Something like that, yeah. By how long would you give it? A year?
When is the next earnings? August 24th. So that's coming up in 49 days.
I would have to give it a year at least. Well, probably.
Mm. Yes, let's say, or until January, so that's 6 months or more.
Keep
January,
moving, keep moving.
let's see.
Let's look at this June.
So 13. The closest is 15 or 12, 5. So 15, right? Because we're going,
More interest in Kingston.
huh?
More interest in Kingston.
Yes, more interest in 15, but low volume. And the spread is above 10 points, so not the
Well, the
greatest.
volume is higher than the volume for 12 and a half.
Yes, so yes, and the open interest is not that great either because it's not above 1,000. So this is not a good contractor. Let's look at this one. Just curious. Yeah, this one has slightly better, but still it's not the greatest. We got April. It's even worse. So these are not good liquid contracts. So it's better to buy it anyway.
What's the volume on this?
The volume is very low. Look at this, Kaka.
No, the average volume for the stock itself.
Oh, okay. 28 today.
Okay, so it does have a lot of volume. I don't know why
But I
people.
don't know, but I don't know if it was just particular today. Let me look.
I don't know why people wouldn't play the what you call it game, the option game.
Mhm. So it looks like it doesn't have a lot of it doesn't have a lot of contracts. It's not that liquid, the contracts. So if you try to get out, it's not gonna be that easy. Okay, so that was a good. We kind of determined it's they're not the contracts are not that great. That's it. That's all I got.
Okay, so we're done for the
Oh,
day.
I did have something else. I did have something else.
Okay,
I found this article.
you gonna read it or play it?
Do you want to play it? Or do you want
Yeah,
me to play it?
if it will work, so you don't have to read it at least.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, here goes.
What's up? I don't hear anything. Do you?
You don't hear it?
Do you hear?
You don't hear it?
No, I don't.
Okay, hold on. Let me try this. Mm, how about now?
No.
Ah, I don't know what to tell you. I have the microphone and everything, the speakers.
Um, Stop sharing. See if that does anything. Well, it shouldn't. No, that shouldn't.
Okay, hold
No.
on. Let me just try it anyway. Mm, One second. Can you hear it?
No,
That's weird.
well, I guess you gotta read
I can read just a couple of first paragraphs if you want me to.
it. Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, maybe it's this share sound?
Probably.
Okay, let's try that again.
That's
Ready?
why I thought you
Uber,
said,
DoorDash sue
Okay, can you
NYC
hear
over
it?
higher minimum wage
yeah,
law
start over so you're not
by
talking.
Janet H.
Yes, ma'am.
Uber, DoorDash sue NYC over higher minimum wage law by Janet H. Cho. July 6, 2023, 6:37 p.m. Eastern Time. DoorDash, Uber Eats, Uber Technologies, and Grubhub have sued New York City in state court, aiming to block a first-of-its-kind law setting minimum wages for app-based food delivery workers. The law requires $17.96 an hour minimum pay starting July 12, increasing to $19.96 an hour in April 2025, and then adjusted annually for inflation. It would require app companies to either pay workers around 50 cents a minute spent on a delivery trip or a minimum of $17.96 an hour for time spent on an app, which works out to around 30 cents a minute. Both exclude tips. More than 60,000 city delivery people are currently paid a certain rate per trip and earn an average of $7.09 an hour before tips, according to the New York City Department of Consumer and Worker Protection, which wrote the law. Delivery workers, like all workers, deserve fair pay for their labor, and we're disappointed that Uber, DoorDash, Grubhub, and Relay disagree, the department said in a statement. Relay Delivery, another restaurant delivery service, has filed its own lawsuit. As independent contractors, delivery workers pay out of pocket for their expenses and don't have workers' compensation insurance or paid time off, and must pay more in Medicare and Social Security contributions, the CWP said. App companies say the new per-minute rate could make trips more expensive, raise consumer costs, and limit their hiring. They say that gig workers, who aren't considered employees, are typically active on multiple apps simultaneously, meaning several companies could end up paying workers for the same hours. An Uber, ticker Uber, spokesperson told Barron's that the city's entire rule depends on the false assumption that restaurants make no money on deliveries. It must be paused before damaging restaurants, consumers, and the couriers it purports to protect. A DoorDash DASH spokesperson told Barron's in an email that policies cannot go unchallenged, and we will not stand by and let the harmful impacts of this earnings standard on New York City customers, merchants, and the delivery workers it was intended to support go unchecked. DoorDash said it and others clearly and repeatedly warned the city that using such a flawed process to underpin its rulemaking would have lasting and harmful impacts for all New Yorkers who use these platforms, saying that DCWP's approach left us no choice but to take our concerns to court. Grubhub, in an emailed statement to Barron's, said, if allowed to stand, this rule will have serious adverse consequences for delivery partners, consumers, and independent businesses. Grubhub commends the city's attention to this issue, but we cannot support a solution that has such unintended implications for those who rely on food delivery. Like Uber's lawsuit, DoorDash and Grubhub's joint lawsuit also warned of higher prices, fewer delivery options for restaurants, and significant and unrecoverable monetary damages. The Workers' Justice Project, which advocates for low-wage essential workers in New York City, said that it's unconscionable that multi-billion-dollar companies would do everything in their power to prevent New York City's more than 65,000 app-based delivery workers from earning a livable wage. Write to Janet H. Cho at janet.cho@dowjones.com.
Bum, bum, bum. So, a wage, this is going to cause some issues because they're going to be spending money on this lawsuit.
So the minimum wage in New York is $18 an hour, 17.95 or 96.
17.96.
That's the minimum wage in New York.
I would think so.
Jesus
And
Christ.
then we'd have to increase it by 2025. Let me look it up.
That's a crazy minimum wage. At New York City. Okay.
But that's New York State, not necessarily New York City.
They have
Small employers, 10 or less is 1050, 12, 13, 15.
you have to look at big employers.
Mm-hmm.
But this is for last year, right?
Yep.
It's for a long time ago.
This is for a long time ago, yep.
People ask, what's the minimum wage?
In New York City. New York S.
That's New York
$15.
State.
New
Okay.
York State. This
New
one
York
is
City is the third one. Okay.
15.
Okay, so why do the Uber drivers have to pay more?
Starting July 12th. So that would have
Yeah,
been now. And then they would have to increase it to 1996 in 2025.
it
So
looks like they're forcing the Uber drivers to pay more than the minimum.
mm-hmm.
So I guess I wouldn't, if that's the case, then I wouldn't like
But
worry.
but is this updated to reflect this 1796? That's what, because right now it says 15, but I don't know if they have updated it to say 17 for New York City.
1796, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I doubt it. That seems kind of like a high minimum wage to me.
It is high. I thought it was high too.
So I don't know. It just seems extremely high to me. But
I think it's extremely high, and I think that's why they're also like fighting this, because it's like, come on now.
yeah, well, they weren't gonna survive anyway. Like I don't know. Like, some people, as you know, make a living. So I don't know what they get paid for this, but it's just very I just don't know what they get paid for this. Let's just put it that way. Because it's an app. So let's say I get on the app and let's say I just take an extra long time delivering something, does that mean
Mm.
I can like string it out? Like, let's say I go the wrong way or something like that, or just drive really slow just or like just wait for the food so I can get more dinero, like I don't
Yeah,
know.
because this is what it's saying. It would require app companies to either pay workers around 50 cents a minute spent on delivery trip, or a minimum of 17.96 an hour for time spent on an app, which works out to be around 30 cents a minute. Both exclude tips.
It was one thing if I really just don't know.
Yes, we don't know. It's an unknown.
Yeah.
But that's why I think this is kind of like extra here.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I would say so.
They're basing it on like regular jobs, not
Yeah,
necessarily.
it seems that like it could be higher minimum wage for an Uber driver than like a regular person in New York